Hi Luxury Home Show, I'm Terry Fisher. I'm an entrepreneur, investor, public speaker, business coach. This is my apartment in London. Please come in and have a look around. I bought this apartment about 2.5 years ago. It was a real project. The whole place was completely broken down. It's nothing like you see today. We've done everything to it, everything you could possibly imagine. Initially it was one apartment, and I've actually split it now into one large apartment that I live in and one smaller apartment that my daughter lives in. But I had the added benefit that I've lived in this building for over 25 years. So I had a small apartment downstairs because I'm obsessed with the view. The whole thing about, for me, living on the river is the views, the water, the sound of the water. You know, every window that you look out of, you get a fantastic London iconic view. So I knew that from living downstairs, and when this whole floor came available, the whole 6th floor, I thought, well, it'd be a great opportunity for me to create a beautiful home. But I am looking to sell the place now, and it's gone on the market. I think it's time for me to downsize a little bit, and I've also got an eye on a property I'd like to buy overseas. So you'd have heard all this before, but there really has been no expense spared in the kitchen. One of the things I picked up from living in California was a lot of homes had 2 dishwashers. So one of the things I've done here is put in 2 dishwashers into the kitchen. I find it incredibly useful, particularly as I live on my own and I obviously need 2 dishwashers. And then if you look at the appliances, we've gone for Wolf and Sub-Zero, just to make sure that, you know, we got the best possible quality appliances. So we've got a Wolf convector oven and microwave. We've got the full oven down here. If you come through here with me, you'll see I created a wine room in here. I don't drink at home. I drink very occasionally, but I just think it's a beautiful feature. One of the key things in the whole apartment that I was really particular about was lots of storage space. We've got lots of cupboards under here for storage as well. And then we've got the hot and cold cooker tap here for instant hot water. And that actually makes filtered cold, still and sparkling water. So this is the dining area. I wanted it to flow through really nicely. I want everything to match. I want it to all sort of blend into one. And actually, fortunately, I've worked with a couple of interior designers on this project. I've got a very good eye myself, and I knew exactly what I was trying to create when I built this place. But I have worked with a couple of interior designers and I didn't have great results. And then a friend of mine, she doesn't realise how good she is, but she's actually really talented. She was a great help. As I said, she doesn't realise how good she is. But I finally got the finished product because she could see the vision that I had and shared that vision. And we managed to circumnavigate, particularly one interior designer in particular, and actually create what we really wanted. So a very good friend of mine's wife has a business in the north of England, and she supplies furniture from Eichholz, which is one of the major luxury furniture manufacturers. And she and I chose the furniture for this room. It's really important because I worked with a number of interior designers on the project, and said that right at the end, this friend of mine came in and she changed quite a lot of things. So we went for the best design concept we could think of, and the flooring is all by Fendi, and then went for inset carpet. So rather than just rugs over the top of the floor, we've actually had carpets made to measure to fit into the inset so that they fit beautifully in the dining room and through into the lounge here. I'm really pleased with the way that the floorings all worked, and the plugs into the floors and the lamps and everything. It's just, yeah, this was a vision, and it's really come to life. But the best thing about the room is the view. I mean, you've got Battersea Power Station down to your left, and then you've got iconic House of Parliament, Big Ben, London Eye. So on a nice day, I tend to sit out here, have my coffee on a morning. In the 10 or 12 days a year, you're allowed to sit outside in the sunshine in the UK. Make the most of it while it's there. But yeah, I'd like to sit out here and watch the world go by early in the morning. So in addition to being really into interior design, and a little bit in touch with my feminine side, I'm also really into contemporary art, and I've got a couple of friends in particular who are artists, and you'll see throughout the apartment lots of work by Harlan Miller, who's a fellow Northerner, friend of mine. We go to football together and watch Leeds United. And all the sculptures, the lady sculpture there and the Marilyn Monroe bronze sculpture are by a friend of mine called Richard Hudson, who's become a very, very famous sculptor. I knew both of these guys 20, 30 years ago before anyone had discovered their works, but now they're both very famous in their own right. I put mirrored glass onto these doors so that when you sat in the sofas here, you can get the view because you get the reflection off the mirrors. But it's also so that you can't see through into the cinema room. I've got to be really honest and tell you I spend most of my time in this room. This sofa is incredible. You can just lay out on here, it's so incredibly comfortable. We've got the big screen TV for the luxury home show or the football, whichever takes your fancy. So most of my time when I'm relaxing at home is spent in this room. Okay, so this wing down here, down the corridor, is where all the bedrooms are. And every one of the bedrooms are designed so that they face the view. But if I'm to take you through here for a second, you can see the office where I do most of my work. So in a former life, I was CEO of Thomas Cook's, which was the world's largest travel company. And after that, I started investing in startup businesses. And I sold my last investment startup to Snapchat about 3 years ago in the second lockdown. These days, I do a lot of coaching, mentoring, one-on-one. And I use this room for that purpose. What it means is that people can come into my home, they can come into my study, my office here, whatever you call it, and they can use the bathroom off the front door. So they're actually coming into my home, but they're not seeing the whole of my home. They're just coming in, walking into this room, having a meeting, use the bathroom if they need it, and out through the front door. So as I said earlier, I'm really into art and sculpture and design, and this corridor here, and sweeping down to the corridor where the bedrooms are, is kind of like an art gallery for all my favourite pieces and my favourite artists. And one of the things that I did was I commissioned a piece of art to fit this wall specifically, because it's a huge expansive wall, and it's by a Welsh artist called Neil Howells. And Neil was particularly delighted to be having his piece featured on this wall because he was surrounded by artists he considered to be amazing artists like Damien Hirst, Harlan Miller and Banksy. And he said, I can't wait to get home and tell all my friends that I'm in the same art gallery, if you like, as all those famous artists. One of the things that we did was we had to cut this piece down the middle because once we commissioned it and it was made, it was far too big to go in the lift and it wouldn't go up the stairs. So if you look really, really closely, you can actually see that there's a line cut through the middle of that piece, which is, it's a shame, it's a blessing and a curse, but it's a fantastic piece of art. And every time I look at it, I see something new. There's so much going on here. So this is the first guest bedroom and bathroom, and it's got a beautiful ensuite. When I used to stay in London a lot before I had my own apartment, I used to stay at the Dorchester, and this marble is exactly what you see in the Dorchester hotel bathrooms. So I kind of copied the Dorchester, put in a nice large bath, put an overhead shower and beautiful marble tiling. One of the key features of the bathrooms, and you see this in both the guest bathrooms, is the window. I put a window from the bathroom to be able to see, while you're brushing your teeth, you can still see the iconic London skyline. It's great to have spare bedrooms. My parents tend to use this one, and friends, when they come to stay, will always use the first guest room. The second guest room is kind of my son's room, we call it Harry's room. But this one is the one that we tend to use mainly for guests. One of the things I really like about this, and I think is just fun, is that you've got a Banksy London Eye painting here, looking at the actual London Eye through the window. That just appeals to my sense of humour. So this second bedroom is Harry's room, my son. Whenever he comes to stay, he always stays in this room. So this bathroom has the best shower in the apartment. It's got a huge walk-in double head shower, rain shower. It's absolutely fantastic. And again, it's the same marble as the Dorchester Hotel, just to keep the theme flowing through. So the reason I've got my phone in my hand while I'm walking in here is because I want to show you this really cool feature. We actually have this in all of the bedrooms. So literally everything's controlled either by a panel next to the bed or by your mobile phone, and you can literally lay in bed, turn on the lights, open the curtains and just enjoy the view first thing you wake up in the morning. Both bedrooms are very similar in size. They've both got a huge bed, they've both got an ensuite bathroom, they've both got a desk that you can sit and work at, they've both got a chair that you can sit and enjoy the view from. They've all got the electric curtains, as I said, they've got the lights that dim or switch on and off from your phone or from the side of the bed. And they've all got this beautiful coving, which just not only hides all the wiring and the air conditioning ducts, but provides a beautiful light setting, particularly at night time. And when you just lay here and you get the halo lighting, it's beautiful. So we've saved the best till last, obviously, for the master suite. Apart from the cinema room that I told you I spend most of my time in, the rest of my time I tend to spend in here. So let's have a look. So starting with the dressing room, loads of space. So obviously I live here alone at the moment, so I've got lots of space for my clothes. I know women tend to like a lot more wardrobe space, but trust me, there really is plenty for everyone. Lots of shelving space for shoes, for caps, just loads of storage space. And then underneath the island here, we've got 16 drawers, which hides a multitude of things like socks, underwear, t-shirts, all the rest of it. So there really is a lot of space in this dressing room for any couple that would want to live in this apartment. So let's go through into the bathroom. One of the most important things for me in the bathroom is the wellness suite. I'm really into health and fitness. You might not believe it, but I am. And I've got an ice bath here, which I use religiously every morning. I've got a red light therapy sauna, which is fantastic for muscle recovery and incredibly good for your health. And then I've got a steam room and large walk-in shower here that completes the kind of spa element of the bathroom. So like every other room in the apartment, we've had to absolutely gut this room, and everything you see in here is brand new. All the tiles on the wall, the tiles on the floors, the double vanity, the steam room, everything is completely brand new. In fact, this room didn't really exist at all. It was a walk through into what's now the second apartment on the 6th floor. And you just walk through a corridor here into what was the kitchen and a second bedroom of the original apartment when we first bought it. So everything's been done meticulously. We've used the same company to do all the cabinetry in the bathroom as we used in the kitchen because it did such a fantastic job. Everything's got soft closed doors. It's got storage, it's got bins in every section, it's got a ladies' dressing area here with lights and a stool and everywhere to put your makeup and everything that a lady would need in the bathroom. And then obviously it's got the toilet, which is hidden behind this opaque glass door. So this is a perfect bath if you're into train spotting, because you can literally lay in the bath and look at the trains go by all day. And yeah, beautiful view. You can also see the Shard and the City of London from laying in the bathtub here. So I said the toilet was hidden behind this door, but what I didn't tell you was it's one of these Japanese toilets that actually opens as you approach it, and then when you sit on it and you've finished doing what you need to do, it actually washes your bum, then you can walk away and the lid closes all by itself. And now for the main room. So this is the master bedroom. It's got an emperor-sized bed, which is absolutely huge. It's got a chaise longue. It's got some more of my friend's fantastic art. It's got the coving lighting that I talked about earlier, so you can lay in bed at night and just have the coving lighting on, which is really, really beautiful. It's got air conditioning throughout. Every bedroom, every room actually in the apartment has air conditioning, which has been a godsend these past few weeks in London. And obviously it's got the double doors out onto the balcony area, so you can sit outside and drink coffee in the morning and look at the fantastic view. So the reason I created the master bedroom in this part of the apartment is because it's got the dual aspect view. It's on the corner, so you get the fantastic view of the House of Parliament, Big Ben, the London Eye, but you also get the Shard and the City of London. And again, if you're a train spotter, you get all the trains that you can possibly wish for. So when I created this vision of the 6th floor, I created a second apartment. So when you come out of the elevator, you turn right into the main apartment, you turn left into the smaller apartment. And the beauty of this is that from a security point of view, you can key off the whole floor. So you need a key to access the 6th floor, otherwise you can't get up here. Now, this apartment is perfect for staff accommodation, for a granny flat, for security if you need security, or for dependent children. And right now my 23-year-old daughter's living here. This is her home. So I'm a little bit concerned about what I'm going to find when I take you in here, but come on in anyway. The important thing to know about this is it's done to the same standard exactly as the main apartment. And the reason for that was that whilst the main apartment was being done, I made this apartment, created this first, and we used this to trial what floors we wanted to use, what carpets we wanted to use, what wall coverings we wanted to use. So everything in the main apartment is exactly the same as is in here, so they're both done to exactly the same standards. So as I said before, it's perfect for a granny flat, for a staff accommodation, for security, for kids. It's just a perfect addition, and what it does is it gives you the entire 6th floor of the building and 2 very beautiful apartments. So as I said, everything is done to exactly the same standard, even the air conditioning in every room, like the main apartment. Again, a godsend in this weather. The bedroom looks big anyway, but it's got a huge bed in it, and it has a beautiful ensuite bathroom with a bath and a shower. There's a couple of really nice features that I like. I like the fact that you've got a second toilet in here, so if you've got visitors, they're not going through your bedroom to go to the bathroom. And this area here is really, really useful, and as a workspace, or as a makeup space. As you can see, my daughter's using it as a makeup space right now, but it's a really incredibly useful area. It turns a boring corridor, if you like, into a very useful workspace. Thanks Luxury Home Show for coming today and doing a tour of my 2 beautiful apartments. As I said, we are selling. The details are underneath this video, and if you're interested, please contact the guys at Luxury Home Show. That's enough for now. It's been a long day. Get the hell out of here. Goodbye.
Hello Luxury Home Show. My name's Kathy Hurst. I'm an interiors journalist, and this is my home in the Cotswolds. Come and take a look. So we're going to start the tour outside. We're here in the South Cotswolds. It's a beautiful part of the country, gorgeous Cotswold stone. You can probably hear the birds singing.